Okay, we just talked about the system deaerator. Let's follow this over here to the steam drum of package boiler 1. Up top here, we can see where our feed water comes in. This is the tap off for the D-superheater spray water feed. We have 2 more chemicals that are added to our feed water. Let's take a look. They are boiler treatment and caustic. Once again, these are ground FOS pumps. In normal operation, this pump would be valved in for boiler 1, and this pump would be valved in for boiler 2. This is a spare pump and would normally be valved out. Let's say this pump is going bad and I want to use the spare for boiler 1. So I would select it over here to enable it. I would have to make sure that the spare was already selected for boiler 1. When I click this to enable it, it says, have you valved in the spare pump? Have you valved out the pump the spare is replacing? If you have everything valved in properly, you can say OK and then enable the pump. Now this pump will start to control for boiler 1. The caustic pumps work the same way with one addition. Caustic is sometimes required to be sent to the CIP waste tank to balance the pH. The spare pump can be valved in for this. We put the pump in operator mode. Then you can select that the spare is for CIP, not for the boiler, and start the pump. Now we are sending caustic to the CIP waste tank. Our ground FOS chemical pumps feed the high pressure injection pumps. These pumps increase the pressure to around 400 psi so the chemicals can be injected into the boiler. Dilution water from the softeners is mixed with our chemicals before the high pressure injection pumps. These pumps have a spare that work the same as our chemical pumps. Now let's go back to our boiler 1. After our chemicals have been added, the feed water then goes through the economizer, which is heated off of combustion flue gas from the burners. Here we see our steam drum level. This is very important. If it gets too high or too low, it will cause a master fuel trip. The drum level set point is defined as 0 inches, which is below the center line of the steam drum. High water alarm is 8 inches, high water cutoff is 9 inches, low water level is -7 inches, and low water cutoff is -8 inches. Either high water cutoff or low water cutoff will trip the master fuel train. This also has 2 level transmitters, so you can select which one to use, or if it has a bad process value, it will switch automatically. It has 2 types of control: single element control and 3 element control. 3 element control takes into account steam out, boiler feed water in addition to the level sensors. Single element control is using just the level transmitter that is selected. A normal startup, the boiler will be in single element control. Once everything is stabilized and we have a consistent flow, we can switch to 3 element control. The system will react to upsets better in 3 element control. Our steam comes out over here. And after the superheater, we have the superheater discharge pressure. We have the compensated flow rate in kilopounds per hour and temperature. Next is our D-superheater, which has the spray water feed from the boiler feed water pumps. Then the steam flows through the main steam valve to the steam manifold. We also have a pressure relief control that will open if the pressure gets a certain percentage above the set point. This runs in cascade off of the set point of the boiler. Here we have redundant temperature transmitters. Here we have redundant pressure transmitters for the steam discharge. This is a triple sensor configuration. You can select a specific sensor or run in median. If a sensor has a bad process value, you won't be able to select it. Median mode is what you normally operate in. The boiler will run in two different modes to get its steam demand set point, either manifold pressure transmitter or the boiler pressure transmitter. This pressure transmitter is in the boiler header. So if you're in manifold mode, you get your set point from this master. If you're in boiler mode, it comes from this master. Manifold master is for normal operating. Boiler master is used at startup, much like single element control. Each boiler has a continuous blowdown. The top layer of water is continuously being pulled off and sent to the continuous blowdown tank. You can also do what is called an intermittent blowdown to the mud drum. This is done to remove sediment. You open up these valves and it flows to the intermittent blowdown tank, unless the tank has a high alarm. Thank you.